Hello friends, and welcome back to our little coffee club. Okay, now as of me recording this video, I still have not gone live. You guys have heard me say, or maybe by now that video posted where you've heard me talk about my intentions as to how to go about live recordings or live videos. This is another option. I think this is an option I'm gonna play with as well. And perhaps maybe sometimes the lives will be something like this. Now, I'm planning on experimenting with this video and do it as live as possible without actually being live, okay? I'm planning on recording this video all in one take. We'll see if I succeed. We'll see if the phone can handle I don't know, whatever this ends up being. Is most likely gonna be at least like 20 minutes. Remember that the live videos are gonna be additional videos. They're not going to interfere with our usual Sunday morning programming. So my normal edited videos that I've been giving you guys now for over 2 years, every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the US, those videos are gonna stay the way they've been since we started doing the coffee videos. Moving forward, this channel is just a coffee channel. I've said it many times. If I ever want to do anything else for my, how do you call it, like creativity or creative outlet, I will just start a new channel. I'll do another channel and post whatever kind of videos, but this is staying coffee. This from here on out will always be coffee. I really appreciate the folks that have joined me here for our little sessions on Sunday mornings. People like Carrie, Ollie, and a lot of people that interact lots below in the comments. Nick, Jason, there's many names. I've given shout outs before. Now I wanna keep this video, like I said, just in one take. So I kinda have to move things along. There will be just one camera angle. So keep that in mind. I can't give you all the angles if it's live. And this is gonna be as close to live as possible. There shouldn't be any cuts. This should be just one long thing. And we'll see if I can make it happen, we'll see how it comes out. We'll see how many times I stumble and forget the word I wanna use and whatever. Usually when I edit my videos, it's just cutting out things like that, where I pause to think about how to say something properly or the right word that I wanna use sometimes doesn't come to mind and things like that. But today we'll see. Hopefully the words flow properly and everything goes well. My machine just timed out because just before starting the recording, I was looking up some information in regards to the microphone that I'm using to record this video and the one that I always use with the phone. I don't know, but I think this mic has no way for me to control the input volume. So the videos always get recorded extremely loud. So today I clipped the microphone a little bit further down on my shirt, which could help, but regardless, I don't think that's gonna be enough. Like on the camera, the mic on the camera, that one I do know how to control and it's very easy to set the input volume. On the phone, they talked about the Boya app. I downloaded the app, I can't make it work. And I went into my camera settings and looked for some kind of like maybe Bluetooth mic input or something like that I was looking for. I don't see anything as to recording volume. I don't see anything. I've tried before messing with like regular volume controls on the phone and that doesn't seem to do it. So I don't know. That's one thing I still have to figure out as we move forward. Again, this is an experiment. Maybe today I won't even mess with the volume. But I have a feeling it's gonna be extremely loud. If I upload it like this, you guys will have to turn the volume on your device that you're watching me on all the way down, like really low, because other than that, I think it's gonna be extremely loud. Anyway, if you tune in today to see the video as to this coffee, thank you for being here with us. Consider joining the channel. Again, this is just a coffee channel and we talk about coffee. Most of the time I'm reviewing coffees. Sometimes it's something like this, sometimes it's something a little bit more special, specialty coffee, meaning the reason why I picked up this bag of coffee, let me first start by saying that Blue Bottle is like a proper, I would consider them probably like second wave in the whole coming along. Let's say I can't think of the better word right now. See, usually I would pause and think of the right word, but you guys could help me out with a little bit of imagination. Again, I have to keep practicing this like if it was alive. So we'll see how it happens. So another thing is, there won't be any background music, right? I can only give you one angle and there won't be any background music. But again, we'll see how this works out. Hopefully you guys like it. Please help me out on this video. Leave me a little comment, a little thumbs up, something. If you enjoyed it and you want me to make more of these, I would like to get some feedback. You know, did this work out for you? Is that okay? Did you enjoy it? Anyway, but yeah, you know, this, I would consider them, Blue Bottle, something like Starbucks, okay? Where they kind of pushed the coffee industry forward. And now we're probably, I don't know what we're calling it nowadays, third wave, fourth wave, I'm not sure. But it's definitely not second wave. You know, I think Blue Bottle and Starbucks would be considered second wave. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they were third wave and now we're in the fourth wave. You know, I'm not sure about that. But I think this is like second wave. They pushed the industry forward and took it from commodity coffee, you know, where coffee is farmed in the most economical way that's why coffee was so cheap, right? Like regular commodity coffee, like Folgers and things like that. You can buy a pound of coffee for like $3, you know, so extremely inexpensive. And that's because the coffee is planted in huge fields in somewhere like Colombia or Brazil, where they have lots of flat land to cultivate coffee, and coffee grows well. And then they come in with machines, and you know, when it's time to I can't think of the right word, but gather up the crops or cultivate the crops and pick up the coffee beans, they'll come in with a industrial piece of equipment, a big machine, and just pick it all up. And coffee matures or ripens at different times. So usually for best results and for a second wave, they started to think about that. They started to work directly with farms and started to ask for something a little bit more special. Let's say that's where specialty coffee comes from, where they're picking the cherries at their ripest. And to do that, they have to pick them by hand. Then, you know, by the time it got to third wave, they wanted to have relationships with these farmers, pay them better, help them to be able to stay, you know, doing what they love, to be able to cultivate coffee in a way that, you know, people can actually live off of that, cultivating coffee. You have to pay more for the stuff, but then you get something of higher quality. The farmers can send people out into the fields and gather the beans. Maybe, I believe they do it like in 3 phases for coffee. Usually, from my understanding, they pick about 3 different periods during the season. So they'll pick just the reddest of cherries, right? And then they'll see on the trees, there'll be some yellow ones. They have to give it some more time. So they'll go back on the field, and once those are red, they'll pick those cherries, and so on and so forth. When they do it with big equipment, like in commodity coffee, they pick everything, green, yellow, red, everybody goes at the same time. They'll go ahead and wash all this coffee or whatever kind of process they're gonna do, and get all that green to the big industry coffee producers like Folgers and these huge companies that, you know, that's what they do. They just do regular coffee, but they do it as inexpensive as possible, and you're not gonna get the highest quality. Okay, but then people like Blue Bottle and people like Starbucks came along and pushed the industry forward and started to work closer with the farms, paying more for the coffee. Therefore, they have to charge more for the coffee, but they gave you a better product. Okay, the end result was for the consumer and people that became coffee hobbyists like myself and maybe you watching. Well, you know, people like Blue Bottle and Starbucks, they facilitated that and kind of got the system rolling, and people used to paying a little bit more for coffee but getting something of higher quality. Okay, so all right, so Blue Bottle. Okay, so the reason the bag is here on my counter today is that normally my go-to, like daily driver coffee, you guys know that is Starbucks regular roast. I'll show you in a second. Oh, that's right, I can't cut, I can't pause, I can't. Okay, here it is. Okay, I had it out. Thank goodness I had it out. This is the Starbucks I'm sorry, the Dunkin' Donuts original blend, a whole bean. So I grind these beans myself. This, Dunkin' does a good job of keeping this very consistent. The flavor profile of the coffee is very consistent. This bag that's running out on me is one of the best bags of Dunkin' I've ever gotten. So it's not always as good as this one. It does fluctuate somewhat, okay? But this one was spectacular. But it was running out on me. So today I was at the market and I'm looking around. I was gonna get more of my, more of my Dunkin', which is my daily driver, right? Because specialty coffee, I will make probably, maybe 3 or 4 times during the week. Maybe 3 or 4 times, but I make coffee every single day. So the rest of the time I'm making this. So about half the time I'm using Dunkin' and about half the time I'm using something else. Because, if I wanted to go with just my favorite coffees, people like I've been having this year, which is the top of the top. Okay. Companies like DAC, Manhattan. And you guys were correct about those 2 roasters. They are some of the best roasters in the world, bar none. I mean, my experience so far with Manhattan and DAC, just unbelievable. Okay, but you have other folks like Say, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of good ones. But those coffees, again, you have to you have to pay a little bit more for that kind of quality. Now, it's not something that I can perhaps, or I am not willing to pay for to have those kind of high-end coffees all the time, okay? So right now, the way I do it is about half and half, okay? That's where I'm comfortable at right now. So today I was looking for a daily, again, another bag of my daily driver, usually is the Dunkin', and I ran into this. And I know Blue Bottle is up there with Starbucks. Now, Starbucks coffee, the only one that I will buy at the store is the blonde roast. The blonde roast to me is, for espresso, is good. For espresso, is good. For filtered, it's okay, but it's lacking the acidity. If you are into filtered coffee and you are a coffee hobbyist, you will know that acidity is something that we really value highly. Once you get used to that, it's hard to go back to like no acidity. It's that juiciness that you get. It's just wonderful. And it has to be well balanced with the sweetness. Okay, so not just like, well, some people do like acid bombs. I'm not one of those. Okay, I want something very balanced. I want a lot of sweetness, but I do value that upfront acidity. And the Dunkin', that regular roasted whole bean Dunkin' coffee, it has it. It has great acidity. The presentation of acidity is good. I like the way that coffee flavor profile is. I enjoy it. You can do it for espresso, also for filtered, it works well. So yeah, it's usually my daily driver, but today I ran into this and I was like, you know what? Maybe, not a lot of people have reviewed it. This is something you can pick up at the supermarket. And, from looking at the bag, there was a couple things that I liked. They give you enough information. They tell you that, this I'm imagining to be like a lighter roast, at least for them. So some of the things that you find here on the bag indicate that this will be a lighter roasted coffee. I imagine it being something like probably the blonde roast from Starbucks. I'm hoping that this one has more acidity, like the Dunkin'. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna be great. I don't know. I hope it doesn't turn out like the Nicoletti and a total fail. But if you guys been watching all the videos, you know what it is I'm talking about. Okay, so you know what? Some folks might get triggered and I'm thinking I'm gonna have to, but it's like a live. I can't put timestamps or anything. Well, I know I've been talking a lot, but I wanted to give you some information and I'm sorry. But yeah, let's get down to it. Okay, let's open this thing up. The first thing I want to do is take a look at the roast level. So again, I'm expecting it to be something probably like Starbucks blonde roast, which is like, they call it light. It's more like a medium roast. I can't imagine anybody calling that a proper light roast. So most people will call it like a medium roast. I imagine this being like a proper medium roast, which, they would probably consider light roast. Now, another thing that I liked is that they have a use by date. I would rather see a roasted on date, but they never give you that at the supermarket. Now, a use by date is useful because it's very obvious here. It says May 2026. So use it by May 2026. Usually the use by date, it's 1 year from the date of roast. That means they roasted this in May 2025. Okay, so being that we are still in June, this is extremely fresh. This coffee is probably only like a month off roast, is what I'm thinking. So I was very happy with that. And comment if you think I'm wrong about that, but I almost for sure from everything that I've heard and research that I've done, usually the use by date is 1 year off roast. So this, again, you know, is pretty fresh. Some of the tasting notes, which, you know, maybe I should guess at them. I'm going to guess at the tasting notes, but that's one of the things we do here when I review coffees. I guess at the tasting notes. And not that I'm great at it, but I will guess at them. But I remember reading them, and it seemed like something that would be okay, you know, but I don't remember. I'll guess at them. I'll guess at them as I usually do. So let's get this thing open. I think you just pull it apart like you do the Dunkin'. Yeah. Okay, I got that done. Now, I see that I messed up the bag. It was a little bit too brutal, but it doesn't matter. I have my Atmos canisters that do a vacuum seal. I can put it in there. All right, let me see what the fragrance is like. You know, it's nice. It's very coffee-like. Nothing weird about it. Yeah, wow. I'm already liking the way the beans look. It looks very consistent. The color looks very consistent. It looks like a proper medium. Yeah, there's still a little bit, there's some beans that you could see, they're fairly light. You know, maybe some of them are even like, I would say like medium light. I would take a picture and put it on the screen like I usually do. But again, we'll keep doing that on Sundays. My Sunday stuff is gonna stay exactly the same. But I'm gonna give you this video as extra content on a Friday. And this is the format. See if you guys like it. It's just one long shot. So, all right, we're gonna pull a shot of espresso. Usually something like this, I would not do a blooming, but I want to practice my blooming shots, and that's the reason why my espresso machine is set at 87, because I want to do a blooming shot, and maybe we'll bloom for like 20 seconds and then pull like another 20-second, like 40-second shot. I have no idea as to the grind size. If you are here and you are familiar with espresso, then, oh, you know what? I wasn't even thinking. If I try to do a live video on a coffee that's not dialed in, you know, this could be a total fail because I can't sit here and pull 3 or 4 shots. Okay, we'll see what happens. Again, we'll see what happens. Grind size, let's go. Wow, let's go at 14. I don't know. Let's go grind size 14. If you know about espresso, you know about dialing in and you know how that works. I'm going to grind it on the niche 0. Usually I dose on the bigger scale, but the Akaya, I turned off the automatic espresso function because I want to do a blooming shot so I can use it to dose. All right, 18 grams. You know, join the channel if you want to hear my opinion as to this coffee as just filtered coffee. I will do that. I will do that and report back to you guys on one of the upcoming videos. Maybe I'll do another one of these lives for next Friday from now. And I'll do the same coffee. I'll do a pour over and see how it tastes as pour over. I mean, my intention for this is probably mostly for pour over. I don't make espresso every day. I do filter coffee just about every day. I don't do espresso every day. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. One more bean. Okay, 18 grams. Let me see if I can still close this bag. Yeah, but I'm gonna wanna. For now, I'll leave it like this, but I'm definitely gonna wanna put this in another container. Okay, let's see. I always check retention here on this channel. We'll grind this and see if I got 18 grams out. Usually the niche zero is very good about that, but we'll see. Here's another thing. Usually I lower the volume when I'm grinding coffee because I know it's a little bit annoying, and I follow some YouTube channels that they don't do that, and sometimes it's very annoying. Like, it's okay, I deal with it, you know, but but it is annoying. So I'm gonna stand back a little bit, and hopefully the sound is not too loud from the grinder. Now, one beautiful thing about the niche zero is that it's not too loud to begin with, and in addition to that, the pitch of the sound that it makes is to me, it's the nicest one of any grinder anywhere. I mean, it's just like a deeper kind of growl. It's not a screechy, nasty sound. So that's a win-win for the niche zero for sure. Okay, here we go. Okay, and then usually I just tap the spout. I will start it one more time just to make sure everything went through. And now we check retention and see if we have our 18 grams. Okay, there you see it. We actually got a little bit extra. So we're gonna roll with that, 18.1. Now, usually I cut and then I refocus and all that stuff. Today, you guys get to see everything, me moving the phone, relocking the focus, and we keep going with the same clip. But I see I'm already up to 21 minutes and we haven't even pulled the shot. You know, if this shot is no good, I'm sorry. Tune in for next Friday. If it's no good, I will give you another video for sure. Next Friday, I'll make it happen. We'll do filter coffee, give you my opinion. If the shot is good, I won't promise, but most likely we'll still do it. I got to keep trying to get better at live stuff, and I want to get you guys' feedback of this kind of setup versus the setup outside and my first thoughts of doing live videos was. I just want to give you guys more content. Maybe some weeks I'll even have 2 live videos, one like this and one outside, and I want to make content for you guys. All right, so let me stop the scale for now because we got to do pug prep. Oh, I didn't have my... Hold on, guys. Hold on. Got to remember, I got to keep talking. Usually I just go silent because I'm going to come back but I didn't have these things out. All those little things. I just cut them out usually so you guys don't have to deal with like silence and waiting. But on this kind of video, we got to try it, Okay, so you guys saw the first thing I do, okay, is fluff up the grounds. Okay, I'll do this. So it's nice and fluffy. There's no clumps or anything, although the niche zero doesn't really give you like a clumpy coffee, but all right. And we ground at grind size 14. In case this works out, then I know grind size 14 works. Always write down as you dial in so that you know where to adjust. If you want to go slower, grind finer. You want to go faster, grind coarser. Okay, and usually a blooming shot of espresso for something this, I haven't tasted it yet, so I don't know. If it has a lot of acidity, I'm gonna wanna bloom it longer. But for something the way this looks, I haven't tasted it, never had it, but by the way it looks, I would say with 20-second bloom and maybe 30-second shot, I'll be at 30 seconds at 9 bar, I'll be good there. And then I'll adjust. If you want more acidity and brightness, you gotta go faster, a faster shot. If you want more sweetness, then you wanna go slower. Now what happens is if you go too slow, you start getting bitter. You over extract the coffee, you get a lot of bitterness. And one of the first things, if you're new at this hobby or you wanna start learning about coffee and this kind of stuff, one thing to note is that, coffee extracts, like first you get the acidity, then it starts to get sweet, and then it gets over extracted and bitter. Okay, so that's the kind of the process. Finding the right balance, that's what dialing in is. Let me do this too, because then people are gonna say he's not getting the thing ready. Yeah, I should keep moving my hands here, but then I can't. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I was explaining as to the whole dialing in thing. I think I'm gonna give up on that because I gotta concentrate on this first. And lock in and pull our shot. Maybe when I start drinking the coffee and tasting the coffee, we can go back to, a little bit about dialing in and how extraction happens and all that kind of stuff. But just play with it, learning to recognize the difference between the acidity and the bitterness is one of the first things you have to get, because a lot of times people taste the coffee and they say, oh, this is bitter, but it's not really bitter, it's too high of an acidity level. So if the acidity is too high and it's tasting sour, sometimes you'll confuse that for bitterness. And, figuring that part out is the first thing you kind of have to do, so that then you can dial in and you can really know if you have to go faster or you have to go slower. Okay, now we temp. I'm not gonna use pasado today on the almost live. If I remember, I can even, refocus for you guys and get you in closer like this. You get a better view of the temp. Wow, that seemed to have traveled quite a bit for like a darker coffee like this. We'll see what happens. Again, if I get it wrong, I promise you next Friday, unless something happens. I mean, hey, life, I can't control everything, but I'll do my best. Let's put it that way. I will do my best to give you another, video just like this one. All right, let's put in the puck screen. The puck screen kind of helps to distribute the water when it starts to land on here. Not that it matters to me, but the main thing that it does is that the puck will never stick to the shower screen, which I hate, and it helps to keep your machine clean, okay? So let me see, let me log this in. Oh, let's run it. It's become part of my routine. I remember to run it like all the time now. And since you guys think, or some of you guys, I shouldn't say you guys, some of you guys think that that part is important, then we do it, because if I remember, then we do it. Although you guys know that I think it doesn't matter on a dual boiler. Okay, let's lock it in. All right, let's see if this blue bottle stuff is any good. You can buy it at the supermarket, and if it turns out to be good. Now, I have to adjust the phone. I see I've been recording for 27 minutes. I wonder if the phone overheats or something and you see this video cuts out, then you know what happened. And I see I got to bring it up. So let me see, put it on top of the scale, maybe. Right here, you still can't see the bottom of the portafilter. Almost. I got to raise it a little more. So let's put both scales. I got to get something to do this. But again, this is the first time I'm trying this. Okay, right there you can kind of see everything. Let me focus. I don't know, maybe something like, oh wait, but I need the scale. Okay. Let me get something else. Man. All right, what am I doing? I put both scales, then I have nothing to. Okay, what about this? Okay, wait, let me turn this around. I think it's flatter on the, yeah, there we go. This, I like this. I like it. Okay. All right, let me see. All right, I'm not doing automatic espresso function. Today I remembered, because we're doing blooming. I wonder if I'm gonna remember to start the timing. Although last time I was able to figure it out with no problem, but I wonder if I'll remember to start the timing today. If you've been watching all the videos, you know what it is I'm talking about. If not, then who knows, maybe you don't, but. All right, so the total shot time will be kept by the machine. As soon as I start the lever, the coffee starts to be saturated. There won't be any pressure, because until this whole cavity fills up with water, there's no pressure. Now, once that gets filled, it starts to push down through the puck. The pressure builds on the machine. The Bianca, the machine I'm using, has a paddle to do flow control. And what I will do is this paddle up here. So what I will do is close this paddle all the way like this, and the pressure is gonna start dropping. So it'll keep dripping. Little bit of coffee is gonna drip, or that's the idea. Last time I waited for a whole gram, and that doesn't work. I cannot wait a whole gram. As soon as I see first drip, I'm gonna close it. And the pressure, by the time I close it, maybe it's up to, I don't know, 4 bar or whatever it is. It'll start dropping little by little, and some coffee will drop. And I will wait for like I said, like 20 seconds, and then I'll start ramping up to 9 bar, which is normally where the pressure that you go to pull a shot of espresso. So I hope I kind of explained that correctly. Usually I think about it, and today's a different format, but it's something we're trying new. Okay, so let me see, that's not blocking. All right, no, but you cannot see, I don't think you can see the time on the Akaya, but I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys what it is. Okay, I gotta reset it. Okay, close this, put it at 5 o'clock. Okay, start the shot. As soon as I get first drip, I'm closing this. Pressure comes in usually at around 9 bars. I'm sorry, 9 seconds. Okay. Okay, I'm closing it there. I went up to about 3 bar. I think I was supposed to start that. I started it late. Okay, I'm at 20 seconds. Now I'm gonna start ramping up. I was at only 1 bar of pressure. Okay, let's take it up to 9. Nice and slow. I usually look for 45 grams out. I'm at 9. Pressure's holding at 9. Okay, almost nailed it, 45.4. And I started this late, so maybe there was like 35 seconds, 44 seconds overall. And I bloomed for about 20, I don't know. And usually I would look at what I recorded and put it on the screen for you guys. But today, again, with the format, I can't do any of those things. You guys tell me how you think I did. Overall, it was a 44 second, and like half of that time we were blooming. So this is about how it goes. Okay, I think today I did a better job than last time. Definitely not a lot of coffee dripped. I had less than 2 grams, I believe, when I ramped up. Let's stir it up. Okay, so if you came to this video today to find out about this coffee from Blue Bottle, don't take this like a final kind of assessment. If I say I don't like it, you'll have to see again, because dialing in, you have to pull several shots. You can't just pull one shot and say, sometimes I get it just right, but that's not normal. Sometimes you have to pull several shots and then you can assess the coffee. For filter coffee, we'll try it next time. I'll try it next time and see. But all right, let me taste this. Cheers. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys are gonna believe me when I say that. This is pretty darn good. It's pretty good, man. It does have acidity for sure. So I would be shocked if as filter coffee, I'm not gonna like it. I think I am gonna like this as filtered. The fact that it says bright led me to believe this probably has, a nice level of acidity, and it does. It's darn good. This has got a good flavor profile. Man, nice shot of espresso. Okay, if you like Italian traditional type of shot of espresso, this is not it. Okay, this is more new school. This is like what you will get. You know what? As a matter of fact, from the Dunkin', because of the high level of acidity, this is like what it tastes like. I wonder if they use maybe even the same beans. I doubt it, but okay, let me see if I get any tasting notes. There is definitely a lot of brightness. Would I call that citrus? No, it has like a high tartness, but I would attribute it more to like tart berries. Maybe like when we've had the what were those things called? Oh boy, this is one of those situations. But they're little tiny berries. It's been there's a lot of coffees with that those tasting notes. But I can't. Is it? Well, I can't think of it now, and I'm not gonna keep dwelling on that. But that's what I would. Oh, currants. The currants. Okay, the red currants. We've had red currants before on several bags of coffee. I would say this red currants. Red currants. Let's see what else. Red currants, and the sweetness, I would say caramel. So red currants, caramel, maybe some dark chocolate in the background, maybe. Yeah, but definitely a nice level of acidity. This is pretty nice, man. You know, I have to try it as filtered, let you guys know. Maybe I'll do another one of these recordings and do for filtered coffee. I think I nailed it as far as the flavor profile. I mean, if you want something new school, you want something with brightness and acidity, this is it. And it's not overwhelming. It's not out of control. It's not too much. It's well balanced. This is darn good. Now for milk, this would have too much acidity for me. I would like something darker. The same like with the Dunkin'. The Dunkin', for milk drinks, is not my preference. That's why I always have some kind of dark roast on hand for when I want to make milk drinks. Just don't get the Nicoletti. Okay, you know, this pulled a great shot of espresso. This is pretty good. It's at specialty level. Can it compete with what I've been having lately? No, but come on. Would you expect it to? No, I mean, this is a daily driver. It does not go to that level, okay? Now, I have a coffee here right now on hand that costs $226 per pound. Is it like 100 times better than this? No. But it is better, but it's not 100 times better. So it's, okay, you do get diminishing returns. Don't expect that you buy a coffee that costs 10 times what this costs is gonna be 10 times better. That's not what happens. Okay, that's not what happens. But it will be better. So, but just take it with a grain of salt. If you're in the coffee hobby, you know what I'm talking about. I think you will know what I'm talking about. I think this is gonna make great pour over. So could this be my new daily driver? Well, tune in next time and find out. Leave you with a cliffhanger, right? I don't know, man. You know, maybe that's what we should do. Go head to head. I'll dial it in during the week and, you know, for filtered. And then we're going to go head to head. Maybe on the next live, we're going to do head to head comparison of Blue Bottle versus the Dunkin'. And I still have enough to make. Yeah, from this bag, I still have enough to make at least one more, and that bag was very good. It's one of the best ones I've ever had from the Dunkin', because it does fluctuate. Don't expect it to be exactly the same every time. They get it darn close, okay? So these companies, they do blends, and they'll mix different kinds of beans to get the same kind of flavor every time, and they do a very good job about that. So wow, Blue Bottle. Okay, and you know what? The price, the reason why I picked it up too is because the price was about the same. It's not like, you know, Dunkin' you do get on sale a lot of times, at least at the supermarket I go to. But today they were about the same price for the same amount of coffee. So it wasn't like a straight up victory right there for Dunkin'. Dunkin' had a bigger bag where it does come out, you know, per ounce is gonna be cheaper. But who knows, maybe this it tastes so much better that it's worth paying a little bit more. I don't know. I see that I've been recording for 38 minutes. So even on this kind of setup. So imagine, usually, sometimes we'll do 2 different coffees and my videos end up being over an hour and I'm chit-chatting. So imagine to edit all of that. I wonder how this is gonna go. The only thing that I plan on doing is adjusting the volume so that it's not like blasting your system, whatever it is you listen to these videos on. And I'm still gonna try to figure out the whole thing. I tried to do it today just before I started, but I couldn't find an answer as to how to do that. I've looked before and I've never been able to find an answer. So, you know, I like that you could see a little bit of the bottom of where the portafilter. You should be able to. You can see the shower screen. I think you should be able to. I don't see any signs of channeling, by the way. I think the shot went down perfectly. And this is probably about as good as you could do with this bag of coffee. So, is it specialty level? No. Is specialty coffee 100 times better than this? No, not at all. Not at all. This is good enough to be, I have to try it as filter. That's the main thing, that I have to like this as filter. But as espresso for new school, not for milk, this is perfectly fine. Anybody would be okay with this if you like acidity. If you don't, then you can't have this. This has too much acidity. So, wow. Okay, I'm gonna let you go here because I can go on forever. All right, thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please give the video a thumbs up and consider joining the channel. Join us here. We love to have you. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Sunday, because this should be a Friday video. So I'll see you Sunday.